The PPP was would you say a communist group or a socialist group?
How communist. Chetty Jagan was a known communist, did not deny it. And right now you have Bara Jagdeo, who was president for 12 years, is a known socialist.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say communist, but pretty much 100% socialist.
Yeah. But interestingly, Chetty Jagan was a communist, but he always believed in elections. Am I right?
It was always fair and free election, and always timely.
Right. So, he wasn't necessarily a revolutionary communist, like Castro type, and overturning the democratic system. But he did want to change the economic system. But he kept elections. I'm
gonna dare use a Trump line. He was a democratic communist.
Right.
If that can, because you had to do things for the people.
Yeah.
And then in Guyana at that time, you had people at different levels, social, financial, economical, whatever other level you want to look at. And so they had to be accommodated. You couldn't just tell them, look, you give this man some of what you have, because that's how communism should work, you know. Yeah. So it was fair dealing with the people.
Right. And then also, I mean, one of the things too is that I just want to mention that the British, because it was a British colony at the time.
It was, yes.
The British and the Americans were heavily involved. And although Chetty Jagan kept winning the elections over and over, they tried many ways to prevent Jagan from becoming, what was it called? Was it called the Prime Minister at the time of Guyana?
He was, yes.
Yeah. So, because now it's president, but at the time, yes, it was prime minister. And they were, it's very well known. This is not a conspiracy theory. It's evidence is open.
It is. And you see we call them the ABC country, British, American, or America, British, and Canada.
Right.
They did not want communism. And what Burnham did was play them. He was a fence sitter. And as soon as he got help with them, how he got into power was through a coalition with the TUF, the United Force Party, headed by the then Peter de Geer.
Right. Who is a Portuguese?
Yes, right. Mm-hmm. So once he got in, he managed to beat out, the coalition managed to beat out the PPP at that time. It was rigged election, and it is so known because Peter de Geer fell off, and Burnham was getting 2/3 majority and over 60% and all these kind of things. How could he do that? It was only rigging.
Yeah, and the British changed the system to a proportional representation system.
Right, from first past the post.
And which is interesting because in Trinidad, when the Indian population and the Indian the party where mainly Indians were part of, the DLP, asked for proportional representation, the British said, no, you have to have first past the post. We will never allow proportional representation at all. In Guyana, just 4 years later, they said, no, you will never have first past the post. We'll only grant you independence if you have proportional representation.
And so it was.